The lead, which is we're starting right now, is brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports. If you're looking for the original motorcycle, talking about the Indian motorcycle, check them out. Talking about Grand Prix Motorsports off of County Line and Santa Fe. CSU against San Diego, excuse me, not San Diego State, but South Dakota State tonight. Do you care? Are you going to watch?
If you don't, I mean, the slip of the tongue is very legitimate. I mean, it's South Dakota State. Well, all the best basketball players obviously come from South Dakota.
They do.
Here is what's interesting to me. If everybody that griped about CSU not making the NC2As bought tickets to this game, Moby would have been sold out in like 5 minutes. I'll be very interested to see how many people are in Moby tonight, and that will tell you whether CSU alums or people that love CSU care about this tournament or not. It only holds about 9,000 people. How hard can that be to sell 9,000 tickets? I hope there's at least 6 or 7 or 8,000 people there because this team deserves that. I mean, on the one hand, I understand certainly why CSU players are devastated, but this is the fact of the matter. They weren't going anywhere in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
You could go to New York City in this tournament, and this could be a heck of a fun run. I wouldn't walk away from this opportunity.
You would think here in 2015 that you would know that outrage is what is the first human reaction.
Yes. Yes.
The action that follows the outrage is always lacking. So for the fans to be outraged that CSU didn't make it, that we should expect.
Right.
The action that you're asking for, buying a ticket, going to a game,
right,
that's not going to happen.
I love this point.
So yes, to try to tie those two together, it's just not going to happen. I don't think it'll be sold out, and nor do I care who CSU plays or how well they do. They're competing to be the 69th team in the country.
But
I'm a fan.
Let's be fair.
Of greatness.
As am I. But let's be fair, because it's always been the running joke. If you win the NIT, you can yell, "We're number 65." When it was 64 teams, we're number 69. Colorado State was not one of the 36 at-large teams.
Right. So they're number 37.
37. It's not necessarily that it sounds better, although it does sound better.
Yeah.
But they're clearly one of the top 68 teams in the country, and you can make a case they're one of the top 36 teams in the country. But to say that, you know, they didn't get into the field and now they're number 69 if they win it, I just don't think that's fair. But this could be fair.
Why would it not be fair?
Really?
Yes, seriously, give it to me. So
an automatic bid team that comes from a crap conference, you think is really better than Colorado State?
One of those teams won last night.
To get the automatic bid is winning your division, winning your conference. They didn't win it.
Come on, really? You want to go there? You want to compare what you played in the Big 8 to the Big Sky? So if you finish second when you played at Colorado, all right? And Montana, a team that I covered back in 1990 when you won a national championship, Montana was an excellent football team. They would always seem to play in the national championship game, okay?
Missoula's beautiful.
And they would wind up finishing first in the Big Sky. And you might finish, I don't know, second or third in the Big 8. So they're better than you?
By the criteria by which the selection committee uses, yes. They are.
Oh.
By that criteria.
So the Montana Grizzlies could have beaten the CU Buffs. You and Alfred and Canavis and Pritchard, they could have beaten you guys.
By the selection committee criteria, yes, they are. The selection committee criteria wasn't introduced halfway through the season. If you're the CSU Rams and you're Larry Stacey, you know to get an automatic bid, you have to win your conference. That's the criteria.
The debate that you guys are having seems to me to be the focus of what CSU has to deal with in the NIT. You can't prove how good you are in the NIT. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible. You're not going to get the shot to play Kentucky or Iowa State or Gonzaga or any of the rest of them. But you do have a chance to say, you know what? We're not just bitter about this. we have a pretty darn good basketball team. And hey, JJ, I still want to play. I want to drop some dimes to you. And let's go to New York and let's have the biggest party ever. And so if you get wrapped up on whether we got hosed or not at CSU, you're going to lose in the second round. If you get wrapped up in the idea of this is fun and we deserve to keep on playing, then you could very well be in New York City, and that wouldn't be a bad deal.
How far do they need to go in the NIT to make a even more legitimate gripe that they deserve to be in the NCAA tournament?
It wouldn't have been. It would have been just fine if they made it, and it's only because we're sitting right here in Colorado. It's no crime that they didn't make it.
Right.
They were. That's to Chad's point. They were the third best team in their conference, and they couldn't win the conference tournament. They didn't have a rock-solid case. That's why they didn't make the tournament. So they're not proving anything to me, and if they want to prove that we belonged in the NC2As, that motivation isn't going to take them to New York. It's just not. I don't think it will.
I think to Kiszla's point, you have to find a way to put all this behind you to give yourself a chance for success in the NIT. So if they're still holding on to some bitterness or still angry about that decision, not focused on what's coming up in front of them, it'll be second or first round, they'll be done. And then all this outrage everyone had will be wasted, which is always wasted anyway.
Right.
By the way, I heard, getting back to the whole CBI thing, I heard like 700 tickets were sold for that.
For the CBI? But they're $15 a piece.
Colorado. They're going to have 700 people there.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah,
and you're going to be one. And you're going to be one of them, right?
And
No.
we're slamming a guy for not. We're slamming a guy for not playing when the coach comes out and says, "I'm going to use this tournament to play the young guys." We're slamming a guy for not playing in that.
It's practice, man. I mean, it's not a.
We're talking about what?
We're talking about practice, man.
Not a game.
Not a game. Practice.
All right, that segment brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports. If you're looking for the original motorcycle, talking about the Indian motorcycle, check out our main man, Jim Zazinski, on his 2014 Indian Chieftain. Of course, he got it from Grand Prix Motorsports, located right off of County Line Road and Santa Fe.